Welcome to a new video on the El Día de Hoy channel. I wanted to bring to the channel one of my favorite stories of perhaps my favorite character from comics in general. That detective of the paranormal who in real life has even been said to resemble certain people involved in the Hellblazer series, including Alan Moore himself. Of course, I'm talking about the damned John Constantine. This is a short arc titled Bad Habits. Issues in which this character discovers that apparently his death won't come at the hands of one of his many enemies, but from terminal cancer. We're going to divide this story into 6 parts, so I would recommend that you turn on notifications so you don't miss the new content on the channel. The truth is, I've wanted to talk about Hellblazer for a long time, and since the few videos about comics I've made have done pretty well, let's see if John has the same luck. The story begins in the springtime. Inside an ordinary breakfast place, there's a man with a messy tie thinking about this time of year, how everything wakes up and blooms. Everything except him. He is dying. I never thought it would be like this, at least not for me. John Constantine. I'm the one who comes out of the shadows with a trench coat, a cigarette, and arrogance, ready to deal with madness. I've got it all planned. I can save you, even if it costs you every last drop of your blood. I'll drive your demons away, kick them in the balls, and spit on them when they fall. And I'll go back into the darkness, leaving just a greeting, a wink, and a joke. I keep walking my path alone. Anyway, who would want to walk with me? The road shouldn't end here or like this. I should die the way I've lived. One day I would go too far, getting too clever. Hell would snap its jaw shut and I'd be too slow. My death would be unique. But that's not the real problem. I'm so stupid to believe that my death shouldn't be so ordinary. But that's not the real problem. The problem is this. I'm dying. Constantine realized how serious his illness was just a few days ago when a sharp pain forced him to wake up. His mouth reeked of blood. This scared him. He ran to the bathroom where he started to vomit. First blood, then a piece of himself. John kept considering all the possibilities over and over again. Maybe it was some trick of the demon, blood or Nergal, or maybe some after effect of what happened in the fall in the uterine cave where he met his dead brother. The truth is that in the last few months, Constantine hadn't gotten involved in anything paranormal. He even seemed to have retired. He went out a few times with his friend Chaz, spent Christmas with Cheryl, but nothing else. So what was happening to him? It wasn't anything out of this world, but John refused to accept such a simple answer. Later, he went to the hospital to get the results of his previous tests. The doctor immediately told him that he had bad news. It was lung cancer, and according to the tests, it was terminal. John didn't hear the rest of the doctor's words. Only when they asked him if he was a smoker, did he answer that he finished 20 or 30 cigarettes a day, and it was assumed that this was where the problem came from. Constantine left the place thinking about the habit that was leading him to death. Then he smoked another cigarette. Few people really think about dying. Paranoids worry about it without truly understanding it. Victims of accidents and murders don't have time. You only think about them and take your time, and you only take your time if you know it's going to happen. So thinking about death occupies every minute before you close your eyes. What else is left? In his thoughts, John was beginning to say goodbye to the world, to his city, to getting drunk and chasing monsters, to seeing his friends. He remembered that night, after finding out about his cancer, he couldn't sleep well. He had a nightmare, submerged in total darkness, but he felt like he was inside a wooden box. He felt how he could descend until he hit the ground, and then he heard the sound of dirt falling on him. He could feel the pressure of being buried. Suddenly, a light appeared, and someone reached out their hand to him. It was Astra, the girl he couldn't save in Newcastle. John still remembered her. It was impossible not to after that tragedy. She told him that now they were both dead. She wanted to show him the path he had to take, but Constantine refused to move forward. Then his friends appeared around him, furious to be here and all because of him. And even though he tried to justify himself by saying that he had taken care of those who hurt them, it wasn't enough. They jumped on him, and finally he was able to wake up. He smoked another cigarette to calm his nerves, but the vomiting and blood came back, and he couldn't keep sleeping. That afternoon, he visited an old acquaintance named Mark in a hospital. He lied to him, saying that his aunt was dying, so his friend offered to take him to the cancer ward, where they treated those patients. Some would be saved thanks to chemo and all that, but for the others, they could only fill them with medication to ease their pain a little. Mark had to leave because of an emergency, leaving John alone while he thought about how he didn't want to leave the world this way, lying there quietly. He'd rather cut his own throat than go out like this. An old man called him from the other side of the room, asked John for a cigarette, and out of nowhere, they both started talking. Constantine didn't lie to him and let him know that maybe soon he'd be locked up in this room too. Matt was a war veteran who, after the conflict, returned to his country, where nothing was the same anymore. He smoked and drank as much as he could, until he ended up here. The old man asked Constantine what he really planned to do, since he didn't seem very eager to move to this place. To be honest, John wasn't sure. Taking his own life wasn't an option. He couldn't give an answer, and instead said goodbye to his new friend, promising to visit him again. And indecision kept consuming his mind as he smoked another cigarette. Dr. Ellis called him again to ask if he could come in for another appointment, since his blood was quite strange. For a moment, Constantine had thought he would tell him there was some hope for him, but no, the damn doctor just wanted his blood. The anger seems to have given him determination, but since he left his apartment, he's just been sitting here. And that was until the manager kicked him out of the place. I'm finished. I can try many things, and I will. I'll fight for any breath of life, no matter how remote it may be. I don't know if I like my life, but I won't let it go until I find out. But no matter how much I do, despite everything, deep down, I know I'm going to fail. I'm going to die.